Time has flown by since the launch of the fantastic Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order over 3 years ago. A lucrative game by Titanfall and Apex Legends developer Respawn Entertainment, the 2019 action-adventure title showed story-driven single-player games set in a galaxy far, far away could both still be big sellers worthy of high praise for reviews. Still, this didn't make the wait for the sequel, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, any easier. Although not without creases to iron out, Star Wars Jedi Survivor has not only made improvements answering the feedback on its predecessor, but has also harnessed and expanded on what made Fallen Order revered amongst franchise fans. To put it simply, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is easily the best Star Wars game ever made. Going forward, please keep in mind that this Star Wars Jedi Survivor review is as spoiler-free as possible and will only contain information on the story already shown in the trailers. Jedi Survivor is set 5 years after Fallen Order and a decade after the Jedi Purge of Order 66. We see a returning protagonist Cal on a namesake journey for survival as one of the last of his kind. Throughout a main campaign that took around 30 hours to complete while also taking on a small chunk of extra content, Jedi Survivor's plot puts an even weightier emphasis on an exploration through its selection of worlds. As with Fallen Order, you'll need to traverse around the map, climbing and fighting your way through enemies and obstacles and solving an array of puzzles to progress forward. For fans of single player platforming, it's essentially more of what you're going to love. On the other hand, those here for the story might find some of the levels a little too long. This being even more noticeable than Fallen Order due to Survivor's much heftier size. Be that as it may, the payoff you do get as the story progresses is more than worth the wait. Even though Survivor is a personal story for Cal and his crew, Survivor is also a fascinating dive into the lore and events around the Jedi Order of the past, with this becoming the centre of the game's story and a gripping point of interest for both Star Wars die-hard fans and casual ones alike. Although it's a longer and epic journey across its sprawling campaign with multiple twists and turns that will astonish many, even more so than in Fallen Order, with the actors behind the scenes always being able to bring the right passion and intensity when a scene calls for it. Star Wars Jedi Survivor upholds Fallen Order's greatest trait with lightsaber combat, embodying swift but weighted swings to make stylish combos of swinging your laser sword and pairing with various force powers feel ever more satisfying with every encounter. Respawn Entertainment have upped the ante for the sequel by adding a much wider variety of lightsaber stances and force abilities to help better make your Jedi be your own. Adding to the returning single and double bladed styles, Jedi Survivor has added 3 new lightsaber stances for a total of 5. The dual wield stance, which is only a special move in the first game, blaster stance that pairs a single lightsaber with a ranged pistol, and cross guard featuring Kylo Ren style slow but heavy attacks. You can equip 2 at a time, each with their own movesets and upgradable skills that are important when taking into account the sequel's wider array of enemies, from stormtroopers and raiders to a planet's natural inhabitants. Even though you can unfortunately only swap your equipped stances at returning meditation points and workbenches, the joy of overcoming many foes' unique attack patterns and combat style by mastering a favoured combination of styles is enough to move past the limitation. In the build used for this Star Wars Jedi Survivor review, for example, we used the blaster stance for coverage against pesky long-range enemies and for picking off heavy hitters at a safe range, while also switching between the double-bladed stance for a bit of crowd control. A small issue lies in using the same skill points as Fallen Order, one that can stem from broadening the abilities that came before. Along with skill trees for survival skills like boosting health, there are some outstanding new force abilities you'll want to try and improve as well. You'll find it only feasible to invest skill points in the first playthrough to moderately upgrade your 2 main lightsaber stances, while there will be little left over to upgrade and experiment with the remaining 3. Another new addition is the companion command attacks. Here the AI will control a character who will follow you on your mission and will attack a targeted enemy for you with their own special moves. Although this is a nice toe dip into multi-character real-time combat, it doesn't really evolve much more than that, with each companion having only 1 attack and no upgradable skills themselves. Rather than combat and the occasional bit of puzzle solving, the real joy of having a companion in missions actually lies in the enjoyable back and forth with them and Cal. Their engaging conversations make the journey across various levels even more entertaining. All things considered, Jedi Survivor outshines the already brilliant Fallen Order's combat by simply offering you a choice in how you want to fight as a force-wielding Jedi, even if you don't fancy using all the new options available to you. One of the new features that Fallen Order players will rejoice at the inclusion of is the heavily demanded fast travel system. Granted, you can only fast travel between meditation points you've already visited, but the abundant amount to find and the increased number of zipline-able shortcuts make what would be long treks back to the Mantis ship or your home base at Pioneer's Saloon far easier. As you're exploring the map for the first time to unlock these fast travel points, Jedi Survivor has added extra mechanics to spice things up a bit. The earliest is the Ascension Cable, which is essentially a grappling hook. After progressing partway through the story, you'll begin to unlock wild mounts that you can call on at any time on certain planets to ride on and traverse the native world. These may become unnecessary as you unlock more meditation points for fast travel, but they're a novelty addition that makes crossing big open areas for the first time way easier, as well as adding to the overall Jedi experience. Jedi Survivor feels grander in multiple ways. The biggest, however, is how it expands on the side content and interconnects it all to make completing it feel all the more rewarding. At the centre of it all lies your home base at Pioneer's Saloon on Cabo. As part of the game's huge emphasis on exploration, you're encouraged to go out on side missions, fight legendary monsters, find collectibles, recruit inhabitants to bring back to the Saloon, and enjoy the unique rewards they bring back to your base for operations. They all have unique personalities and stories to tell, so new conversations can be had while you progress through the story, and it makes you want to jump back to Pioneer's Saloon every time to hear more about your new neighbours and develop that sweet RPG bond. Each planet has its own unique sights and wonders to find, but one of the most captivating by far amongst Jedi Survivor's edition are the various Jedi chambers. After being unlocked sometime in the story through one of your recruits, the planet Cabo is also home to a section of explorable Jedi chambers, appropriately compared to the shrines from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, as you need to utilise your Force abilities and puzzle solving skills to make your way to the end. Not only can you grab more certain collectibles in each of these, but also extra snippets of Jedi lore, and completing each chamber grants you one of the new equipable perks that add another layer of strategy to your customization. While one of the shops sells extra perks and perk slots, there are others which also sell their own exclusive goods, along with cosmetic like hairstyles, beards, clothing, BD1 body parts, and paints to dye and to tailor the look of the outfits that you put on Cal and your droid companion for the liking. Rather than having just one universal equivalent of cash, each shop has its own respective currency, encouraging you to explore more of the different parts of each planet and enjoy more of what they have to offer whilst collecting valuables along the way. Following a chunk of the story, you unlock a shop that even specialises in needing you to take on various bounty hunter bosses to pay for the goods. Like many fantasy IPs, Star Wars stories have always been at their best when exploring universal real-world stories that are grounded in the universe's reality. Balancing drama, huge personalities, and a sense of adventure in a narrative and gameplay, the success of Fallen Order's sequel depended on expanding on what made the 2019 so great without losing those traits along the way. After a lot of time under the review microscope, Star Wars Jedi Survivor not only goes bigger in every way possible, but every component on this larger canvas has been crafted with a true love for the franchise. An even more gripping and heartfelt story than last time, incredibly broadened combat, immersive exploration, and a much deeper assortment of customization and RPG elements make this Jedi experience your own while simultaneously remaining the intimate tale of Cal and his crew. Star Wars Jedi Survivor comes with a bunch of accessibility options, including the choice to turn off the added human dismemberment and even an arachnophobia mode to make particular enemies look far less spider-like. Sadly, the insect we weren't expecting to find was some of the massive game-breaking bugs we found in our playthrough. This included some puzzles where we simply had to leave an area and turn back so the area could reset and the solution to the puzzle could actually work properly. There were also multiple blatant crashes. In fact, one of the crashes occurred while simply jumping off our mount and heading to Rambler's Reach. This actually almost bricked our 8-hour save. Thankfully this was fixed when we decided to reload the save manually, but I have to say it was quite a nervy moment. There were some other glitches like frequent surface texture pop-ins during cutscenes and loading screens, along with stuttering enemy corpses and NPCs that can easily be patched out. Being met with such numerous technical errors that we develop anxiety about a game crashing at any moment is not only immersion breaking, but also nowhere near the quality assurance we'd expect from a game made by an EA-owned developer like Respawn. If it weren't for the rest of the game in general being so stellar, those glitchy hiccups would have left a very sour taste that would have been too overbearing to actually deal with. All in all, with some small gripes aside, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is everything you could want from a Star Wars game. The only thing truly holding it back from perfection is the glaring technical issues that show it could have used a little more time in the oven. We gave Star Wars Jedi Survivor 4.5 out of 5. For more reviews, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to GG Recon Gaming.